Checking our Gillette Duracell around the scoreboard last night. Oshawa winning in Kingston. Niagara Falls lost in Kitchener. London beats Guelph. The Marlies lose in Ottawa. Sudbury beats Windsor, and the Bay wins in Sault Ste. Marie. The face-off will be to the right of the Kingston net. Goes back to the point, chopped off into the corner. Team still playing five-a-side, but in a couple of seconds, the Generals will have a power play. Here's Bodnarchuk trying to get it out. Now the Raiders are short-handed. They'll shoot it down the ice as Mahoney is out of the penalty box and immediately to the bench. And the Generals will get set on this power play. Pass intercepted by the Raiders. Berahowski will clear it off an Oshawa stick. And into the crowd it goes. And the face-off will be outside the Kingston blue line with 45 seconds left in the interference penalty to McKillop. The penalty you didn't like.
Well, no. Just a minute. Just a minute. There's Paul Theriault, the coach of the Oshawa Generals, saying, let's get one. And then there's Mav saying, listen, we got 45 seconds to kill us off, and let's stop these guys.
Well, it's a worn-out cliche, but certainly special teams can turn a game around one way or another. Davis gets it over on the other side for Fraser. Fraser into the corner, goes after it. Raiders clear it. McKillop goes after it, takes his man into the boards with a good check. And the Raiders will come out of there with it. Up across their own line at center, just trying to kill some time. Jeff Waver. Waver spins away from a couple of people, then he was spun around and knocked down. And the Raiders will get it, and Davis will flip it over the other side for Fraser. 15 seconds left of the penalty. And on the other side it goes. Here's Fraser in the corner trying to center it in front. Kevin Mean can't come out of there with it. Cleared back on the right side. And off the boards, and not out, and then out the second time, and out to center to McKillop, an offside pass as McKillop just came out of the penalty box.
And the Raiders. You almost caught me there, eh? The Raiders did a very, very effective job of killing that penalty.
They did.
Very effective
Speaking
job.
of Kingston, I'd like to thank our buddy Jim Gilchrist for his statistics again today, and Jimmy, of course, a father for a third time, his third daughter born just a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, take a look. A nice crowd here to see the Oshawa Generals. Actually, the crowd's been quite good here this year.
Crowds have been good here for a long time, haven't they?
Yes.
Cleared down into the Oshawa zone. There's a race for it. Going back to get it. It's Kravich. Goes back to the point. That shot gloved by Button. He'll hold on to it. We get some shoving between Kravich and one of the Kingston Raiders at the side of the net. No harm done. 12.5 minutes to go in the period. There's our score, and we'll come right back. Play has resumed, and the Generals at their own line will chop it off the boards at center. The Raiders there to pick it off. On the right side, they'll clear it back into the Oshawa zone as we move in on the 8-minute mark of this third period. And a 3-2 Kingston lead. Up on the wing at center. Goes off a skate. Unable to control it was Jim Ritchie. Back it goes at center. There's a collision there. And Donaldson has it for the Generals. Donaldson will swing it up. Try to feed it ahead for Craigwell. Craigwell goes into the corner. Takes a hit from Brock Woods. And on the right side, it's cleared at center. Tipped over on the other side for Jamie Allen. Allen will drive it wide of the Oshawa net. Raiders will make wholesale changes. And the Generals swing up on the left wing. McIver couldn't get loose. Over on the other side, here's Banica. Banica tried to get through the defense, was too well covered, and the Raiders break at their own line. McKillop's pass down through the middle. Comes over for Doucette, takes a whack at it. The puck is tipped off into the corner. Doucette digs it out, centers it in front. Davis cleared it the first time. Gets it a second time. And up on the wing it goes for Joseph too far. Berahowski in his own zone. Watched by Joseph. Joseph all over Berahowski. And the puck comes back on the other side. Here's Joseph in the corner. Takes a shot. He snapped it wide. And the rebound all the way back down into the Oshawa zone. And Davis has to hustle back for it. 10:50, the time remaining in the second period. Pass through the crease, up on the left wing for Joseph. Joseph hit by Berahowski, and Jeff Waver will go back and get it behind his own net. Being chased by Jim Ritchie, then Waver will backtrack and go the other way with it. Waver up on the right side gets it to McKillop. McKillop turns at center, and he'll drive it back into the Oshawa zone. Raiders make another quick change, and Davis has it behind the Oshawa net. Davis Barahowski tried to pinch up and steal it. Comes back on the other side. Mark Major drives it right back into the Oshawa zone.
Nothing fancy here about the hockey that's being played, is it?
Here's Major trying to get it in front of the Oshawa net. Davis is there. Davis gets around a check from Bodnerchuk. Still loose, slapped back into the corner by Joey Simon. Comes back on the point. There's a shot that goes wide. It's intercepted. Here's a chance for the Generals. Scully will feed it over on the right side. Trying to get his man loose. Here's a chance right in front of shot. They score. I'll tell you, there's a play by Scotty Mahoney that could be our Ozzie Whitnauer play of the game.
That is a big goal. And a heck of a play, I'll tell you that. You talk about a long Gene Whitnauer play of the game. Look at him pursue that puck going down the boards, and he keeps coming in, brings it back, and puts it upstairs in that corner. That's a play. That's even better than you, Quinter, and I saw you at your best.
You know, and Shayak was all over him like a bad soup, but he couldn't
all
get
over
away.
him. I mean, that's a play. Scotty Mahoney, everybody knows him. They think he's a tough guy and so forth. You know, he'll show up all the time, but that's a heck of a play. Shows you a little bit of his ability.
So we have a 3-3 tie. Mahoney's 11th goal of the season with 9 minutes and 47 seconds to go in the second period. So we got ourselves a hockey game, Boss.
Yeah, we do. I'm telling you, it's been up and down and so forth. This game may be over in less than 60 minutes.
We got a penalty called against Brent Grieve as he got the elbow up in the face. So 9:42 to go in the second period. We'll come back with a Kingston power play.
We're going to see Koharski right on top of Brent Grieve here. Brent Grieve gets that hand up. No question about that roughing penalty. Gets him right in the face, gets the hands up too high, and he'll serve 2 minutes. I suppose you don't think that's a very good call.
I thought that was a great call.
Okay, well. Are you his brother?
No, I think referees take a lot of abuse, and when they do the right things, I think
there's
they should
no game without
them.
them. Don't worry, there's no game without them, and generally they make a lot better calls than we give them credit for.
And you know they don't have the advantage of replays like we do.
Oh.
Here's Bodnerchuk, tried to get it in front for Simon, picked up by the Generals. Pass waiver down the ice it goes. And you'll have to like the way so far past the way the Generals have been killing penalties. Raiders really have had trouble with the power play. Up on the right side, here's Bodnerchuk. Bodnerchuk too far for Simon. And here's Barahowski. Wait a minute.
Hey.
You think he might have got called for traveling there?
I mean,
he saw the Oshawa player on him and just kind of carried it for another 4 or 5 feet, slid by him, and then dropped it. Pretty smooth, but pretty illegal. Here's Bodnerchuk back with it at center. Down over the line, he'll chip it along the boards, cleared. Comes past Barahowski, and it's still bouncing around. We're going to get a penalty, I think, to Barahowski for tripping. Back the other way. There's a shot. That went off the outside of the post as Daykoff let it go. And Kingston will touch the puck. We're going to get a tripping penalty to Barahowski.
that puck was drilled, as a matter of fact.
It was.
It looked fairly innocent, but... and now Barahowski, he's going to get that for, did you say holding, tripping, or grabbing?
I think any one of the above.
Okay. Or all.
But only
Hey.
2 minutes.
I'll tell you what. Now we see here right on the left side there where he gets him and brings him down, tripping or... He's a player, though, I'll tell you that. Young kid like that coming in. I looked at his... He weighs 220 pounds, which is about half your weight. Is it not?
Yeah, it might be.
No, really, I'll tell you, he's a player. He's some kind of player. It's great to have guys like that in the league.
So the teams will play 5 aside, 4 skaters aside for about 45 seconds, and then the Generals are going to have a man advantage. Kavanaugh takes his man into the boards. The goaltender, Gauthier, almost got caught in no man's land, and it's chipped to center, picked up by Davis. Davis throws it over on the other side, and here's Scaldi. Scaldi gets around one man. He has Craigwell with him. Scaldi, oh, what a play! Excuse me.
Was that a play or was that a play? I mean, we've seen some plays here today, even if it is the team that I'm the manager of. Scaldi's only a 17-year-old. Now he catches 5 there. Now watch him come down here on the defenseman.
Look what he does to Kavanaugh.
Look at here. Comes over the outside right between his legs. Now brings it over on his back. Oh, as you say, strictly, excuse me. I mean, that is something for television.
his 32nd goal of the year, and I'll tell you.
Well, I don't know, but I'm going to tell you this. I've seen. Did you call Eddie Marcel, our producer? How many watches do we have here today from the Longines Whitnall? Did they bring extra? I tell you, we need some watches. Tell them to send a dozen, would you?
Well, there have been some pretty plays this afternoon.
It really has, yeah.
I think that's the prettiest one we've seen.
That's something.
So it's 4-3 for the Generals. Here's a backhand shot, goes wide of the Kingston net. And back the Raiders come the other way with it. McKillop at center, turns to get around a check down over the line. McKillop snaps a shot, but will stop it. And Donaldson on the rebound. Now the penalty to Brent Reeve is over, and the Generals, with a 4-3 lead, now have the man advantage. A long bouncing shot goes to Gauthier. Gauthier will cover up and clear it. Now he'll hold on to it. He almost got himself in trouble again. Reeve puts it, or Mean puts it in the net, but I think it's a little late.
I think it's late.
So Gauthier having all kinds of problems.
Yeah, he's really got it, and then he doesn't know whether he's going to move it or get it away from there. And then that's when the hesitation started. Now, Koharski he's definitely blowing the whistle by now. He's got the whistle, and he called it off. I tell you, I like this Koharski. He's on the play. Give him credit. We're going to see a goalie change here.
We're going to see Jeff Wilson, I think.
Yes.
What do you think of that move?
Well,
I think Gauthier's fighting the puck?
I think really what he's doing now is because the Generals got a little pressure on, and he's just trying to change the momentum more than anything, you know. I don't think he's saying, hey, you're responsible for this. And I see Mavs talking to him right now and saying, hey, we're in a fight here, and we need to win, and they got some pressure on, and it's a power play, and let's take some heat off.
Well, of course, there is no tomorrow. I mean, it's almost like some of these teams are playing playoff games every day.
Yeah, that's right. Well, like we talked about last night in Kitchener, and Windsor goes into Sudbury. These guys can warm the goalie up, you know. They have that if they want to. I don't know what. Maybe they don't want to. It's up to them.
Well, I think the referee now is talking things over. I'm sure Paul Theriault is saying, so what's the deal? And Koharski's, I think, going to give him some time to warm up. He's entitled.
Yes, he is.
So they're going to go warm up Jeff Wilson. The Kingston Raiders, of course, coming off a season last year, Bass, which was, to be kind, was a disaster.
And I'll tell you, I was talking to Mav earlier. They had a couple of 4-3 losses to Cornwall that could have been turned around. You know, the F's. It's interesting. The Terriers over there now with the X's and O's saying, hey, we got some extra time here to do something.
Well, Wilson continues to get warmed up.
Right here we see the award being given to the captains of the Oshawa Generals and the Kingston Canadians, Garth Joy in street clothes because he's hurt.
You just did it.
What's that? The Kingston Raiders. I was trying to tell you. I'm just giving you a chance to correct me. But it was a first because it was the OHL game between the Generals and the Kingston Raiders, and they played a complete penalty-free game on November 22nd, 1988. And that's something, we hear about all the rough stuff and all the dirty hockey. Actually, Kingston's been in a couple of them.
When I hear the people talk about the game is rougher than it used to be, I wonder if the people who are having the flashbacks don't remember.
I wonder if
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm not so sure that they got a problem with it. And who doesn't want clean hockey anyway? I mean, that's really an objective that.
So play has resumed. Wilson has been warmed up, and he's right now facing a short-handed situation. The Generals on the power play, 40 seconds left in the minor, and the Raiders will shoot it down the ice. 7:14 to go in the second period. A 4-3 Oshawa lead. Picked up by the Raiders, coming down over on the left side. Unable to get through was Cimarello, and on the left side. Over the line comes Mean. Mean puts on the brakes, trying to get around the defenseman. That's Brock Woods. Mahoney gives it back to Mean. Back to Mahoney. Mahoney waits. Now he tried to throw it over on the other side. Comes back on the right point. In front for Scully. Can't get the shot away. And back the other way come the Raiders with 5 seconds left in the penalty. Here's Weaver coming down over the Oshawa line. Weaver makes a couple of pretty moves and bumps the shot at the Oshawa net. And Kevin Butt will have to hold on to it as the penalty has expired.
The Kingston Raiders have done quite an effective job killing penalties.
6:02 left in the period, and there's our score.
Road trip of the Oshawa Generals, route number 5811.